Crow Nation in Montana, the dog has been a good friend for centuries.
We're all related in the circle of life here. So to us, the dog is not merely a friend, but like a brother, a member of the family.
The Crow's great respect for canines includes a hands-off approach. This has led to packs of out-of-control dogs on the isolated reservations. But the Crow are not alone. Resistance to spaying or neutering animals crosses cultural lines throughout America. Homeless, uncared for, sick, starving, aggressive. In rural and urban areas of the U.S., there are literally millions of unwanted dogs and cats. This includes abandoned puppies and kittens on roadsides to discarded ex-fighting dogs. It's estimated there are 13 dogs and cats for every one person. One unspayed cat and her offspring can produce 420,000 unwanted kittens in just 6 years. These throwaways are adding to America's mounting population of feral animals. Last year, more than 4 million unwanted cats and dogs were destroyed.
One day I put 56 animals to sleep, and this is right after I'd graduated, and I kind of came to the conclusion that that's not what I had paid to get an education for.
The large number of unwanted animals is causing suffering for both animals and human beings. So why isn't everybody spaying or neutering their pets?
It just seemed like a real simple thing. You just get really good at spay-neuter and spay-neuter every animal in sight, and there's the end of the problem. Well, unfortunately, there's the people factor involved, so it's not quite that simple.
Some communities are overwhelmed with problems, such as drugs, alcoholism, inadequate housing, lack of health care, even food for their families. Others may see neutering animals as cruel or contrary to their spiritual beliefs. Spending money on animals or doing something to a dog not considered natural are foreign concepts right here in the U.S. But there is hope for crossing this cultural divide. The task force in Montana, led by Jean Athowe, took their time to establish a relationship with the local Crow tribe.
The Montana Spay Neuter Task Force was formed to stop the killing of healthy adoptable animals and to draw attention to the fact that killing is not a healthy solution for a society to teach anybody.
The task force visited the Northern Cheyenne Nation first. Jean spent time getting to know the community, letting them get to know her, and what the task force could offer them.
This is simply not General Custer showing up with a hypodermic needle. It's not official, it's not government.
Jean learned to speak their language, what matters to them, not another tongue. Despite the Crow's reverence, in today's world, the free animals are suffering. Sometimes making their human friends to suffer too. The uncontrolled dogs are becoming more and more aggressive.
Where we who have become so, I can't say unfeeling, but unaware of how bad a situation could get, like with dogs.
What we were told as young children was to be kind to your animals, to treat them respectfully, and I think as a result of that, a lot of people have a tendency to maybe take on too many dogs. I know that even in the housing area, we'll have some families that will have like maybe about 10 or 12 dogs.
Dog bites are the #1 cause of injury for American children. More than 800,000 dog bites are treated each year.
The dog had attacked my niece, and one bite had actually knocked her down. Then there was a second bite from the dog, same dog, and bit her shoulder.
Sometimes I've walked at night up to my grandmother's, and at one point I was surrounded by like 4 or 5 dogs trying to bite me.
80% of dogs that bite are unneutered males.
And it wasn't until the Dakota tragedy last year when young Dakota Redding was attacked by a pack of dogs did we as a community decide to become involved.
It was such a horrible thing that happened in our community that all of the town people came together, and at that point they said, we have a problem. What can we do about it?
A dog bite costs a community a lot more than preventative neutering. It may also be a more compelling message.
So what we do is wait to be invited. We go by word of mouth, and we stand back and wait to be asked.
Setting up a spay-neutering event was the tribe's idea.
We asked the local entity, in this case, in many cases it's a tribal council, to invite us. We have a little presentation packet so they can understand what it is we can give to them and what it is we need from them to make a successful pet care event. We come and we bring all the materials in a van to set up a clinic in an existing building. Our goal is not only to spay and neuter. Our goal is to get a community to pull itself together and solve a problem.
But resistance can be persistent.
When we first came here, we had a slow day. People weren't sure what we were doing or how we were going to do it.
When we were first here, they weren't too accepting. And then we started catching animals, and I think people started seeing what we're doing and that we're doing good things and we're not hurting the animals.
Even with an invitation, volunteers went the extra mile to be accepted.
Well, our field team has really been removing the barriers to people to come in and spay-neuter. If you do decide you want that leg looked at, just the leg, you could go ahead and bring the dog down tomorrow morning and we can try to get a vet look just at the leg. But talk to him about that neutering too. That neutering is the best thing for him. It really can improve his life, okay? So we're actually going out into subdivisions. We're telling people about the program, and if they cannot transport their own animals, we're loading them up, bringing them to the clinic, getting them spayed or neutered and vaccinated, and then returning them to the home. So if you decide tomorrow, just let us know or flag us down or call the fire hall and tell somebody that you want them picked up, okay? And you get them back the same day, okay? Give it some thought, it's a good idea.
Animals themselves can help cross over borders.
The importance of this thing, other than the fact that we are cutting down on unwanted litters and abandoned litters and starving litters, is the fact that we are beginning to be accepted by the native population in the fact that they should be spay and neutering.
A good relationship with animals isn't a unique idea, but it can be a great starting point.
We've tried to do it through the culture of the community that we are addressing.
You kill a dog, you get bad luck. But the dogs are sacred.
Native Americans have a real need not to kill animals, and they don't even remember why. They had great respect for them.
The task force learned that concern for animals wasn't new to the Native Americans' culture, and it would make a great link to the spay and neuter message they wanted to share.
We found that there's a lot more information and history on the dog in the Cheyenne culture. We found many stories. One that we found about the first dog is how the dog saved the Cheyenne.
Spiritually, the dogs played such an important part in the Native Americans' lives. They were their watchdogs at night, and they also were part of the team in moving, transporting things before the horses come. They were part of the family circle.
They found someone already in the community to help give the message.
We encourage the schools to focus on pet care and spay and neuter issues while we're here.
Education's got to start with our children. So we took it to the elementary students about how to care for animals and how important it is, and that animals have almost the same needs as they do.
I want you to think about how you want to be treated, and think about how these animals have been treated. Almost every day at the dump site back here, there's puppies. Would you want to be left at the dumpster to fend for yourself? How would you like that?
No.
No,
I wouldn't.
you wouldn't like that.
It'll be bad. I see some puppies at the dump.
It's kind of sad, isn't it? By spaying those 5 females, he would save 70 puppies from a life of despair.
This year, the teachers themselves were much more receptive to teaching their students instead of having someone else do it. Every teacher in our elementary student got a packet of material that was provided and spent the whole week prior to the spay-neuter clinic talking to the children about caring for animals and how caring for animals relates to how you care for yourself.
We have little coloring books and educational material on spay-neuter issues and on respecting life that help bring back the respect for the dog and to bring it forth into modern life.
But we got some kids to look at dogs differently. What we noticed was that kids were treating the dogs better just around school. We have a lot of stray dogs that hang around the school looking for that attention from the kids. And kids weren't kicking the dogs like they had in the past.
The children took the message home, encouraging everyone to participate in the pet care event.
And our school allowed kids to have an excused absence if they brought their pet in.
We encourage the children to come and help. We encourage the owners to come and help and to watch the surgery.
We had a large number of kids who came in and stayed with their pet and saw what was going on. And I think it made them care for their pet more than they had ever in the past.
The children are affected more profoundly. I think children tend to learn more and easier. They realize that, yeah, if you have pets, you need to take care of them, and if you have an opportunity to have them spayed and neutered, that's what you need to do.
One of the major goals of the task force, and where we feel the base of our success is that we work side by side and insist that we do work side by side with locals, local volunteers, whether they're professional veterinarians, 6-year-old children.
Everybody has an effort in it. National organizations like the HSUS, veterinarians from all over the country, technicians from all over the country.
The dog stores donate food for the animals. The grocery stores donate food for us.
The tribal councils help set up food.
The many laundromats have donated the service of their laundries.
The children help prep, they help do paperwork, they clean instruments.
Kelly! Yeah! Look what these girls did.
Oh man, y'all are too good.
The children here really get more out of it than anything. They learn that there's a function they can do, that they can be assets to their community. It really builds their self-esteem up at these clinics.
We could not have a clinic if we did not have the volunteers.
And that's really what makes it work. It's everybody working together.
As the word of mouth got out, our second day we mushroomed almost to 100 animals as people started to see that it was a good program and that it was going to benefit them not just today but tomorrow, and really allow them to become part of the success of the program.
It's been a long week. I think we've accomplished a hell of a lot of good. We've probably spayed or neutered somewhere in the area of 400 animals at this point, and we're still going, got a day and a half left.
Last year we came and we brought, I think, 5 dogs and I think 4 cats. We couldn't have ever afforded to load up all those dogs in a vehicle and take them to Billings. We couldn't have ever afforded to do that.
She was a homeless dog that a couple of us took care of, and she was kind of wild. When we tamed her down, I took her home, and I cleaned her up and found her a home. This is her new owner, BJ. Her new name is Missy. She here and she got fixed.
Last year we saw almost 200 dogs. After 2 days of this year's clinic, we're over 200 dogs.
Statistics show the amount of unwanted animals brought to shelters is significantly reduced after such an event. Business for local vets increases because more people understand that caring about animals should include proper health care too.
So the people are being very receptive to us providing that service, and we're getting dogs done, dogs and cats done, that would not be done otherwise.
I really believe that through this clinic that we've had with the spay-neuter, that eases a lot of people's minds, because we don't have the worry of that these dogs are going to go out now and start overpopulating. And at the same time, it's not against our culture. We're not gathering up these dogs and shooting them and killing them. These dogs are being taken care of in a humanitarian way.
An event like this spay-neuter clinic at Lodge Grass, Montana is a unique opportunity to see many people come together from different backgrounds and form a team that's helping everybody. It's a win-win situation for the people, for the animals, and for the community.
We've respected the culture, and at the same time we're taking care of the problem that we have here at hand.
This year the volunteer was just great, and Jean went out and made volunteers feel welcome and good.
And as evidence of the fact that we are becoming accepted, they had a get-together, a tribal powwow dinner for us, and we are beginning to be treated like friends and almost like family. We're invited into their homes and their schools and their churches. It's just a really wonderful feeling to be accepted that much by the local community.
They fed us marvelously, they entertained us, made sure we had all of our needs as far as comforts were. And then when they come up to you and just say, gee, thanks, we really appreciate what you're doing for our community, it makes it all worthwhile.
And the way you would say welcome is Lahed. Welcome, my friends.
We all are here because of Dakota. And Dakota was attacked by 9 dogs last August. If you read the description of his wounds, you should never forget it. And everybody here who is allowing a dog, especially a male dog, to walk the streets not neutered, is endangering a child. So we must not forget Dakota, because our dogs and our children in this nation are very important. I learned that from everyone, especially Winona Yellowtail. So I hope you'll all look at your dogs again and look at your children again and think about how they can live together in this beautiful nation. And thank you for letting us come and tell you all this and help you and work side by side with you.
We can treat dogs and cats kindly and humanely, and that's a big plus, because if they learn they can treat their pets with kindness and respect, they learn they can treat other people that way too.